Hello everybody, welcome to Canvas tutorial. This is the crash course of GATE 2021 and this is our fourth lecture series on the organic chemistry, and over here we are going to discuss the neighboring group participation reaction. In my earlier lectures I have already discussed about the substitution nucleophilic reactions as well as the elimination reactions. Okay, so first of all, what is NGP? NGP stands for neighboring group participation. Okay, this N, G and P stands for neighboring group participation. Now what we can see that in some cases near the reactive center, internal nucleophile center is also present. Okay, suppose I am considering some substrate like this one. Okay, this is a substrate. Now over here some nucleophile I am going to add, and that will basically give the substitution nucleophilic reaction in this center, and as a result of that we will get this product. But in this case what you can see that over here there is a lone pair. Okay, there is a lone pair, and it is also a donatable lone pair, so it could also act as a potent nucleophilic center. And this nucleophilic center is present inside the molecule, that is why it is called the internal nucleophile. And what we can see that this nucleophile will attack over here, so it will remove this Cl-. So as a result of that, in the first step we will get a cyclic structure like this. Now in the second step, nucleophile will attack in this position to give the same product. But over here what you can see that the internal nucleophile temporarily participate in the reaction, and now then the external nucleophile attacks. Okay, so first what happens? First the internal nucleophile forms this kind of cyclic structure, and after that the external nucleophile attacks. The situation is comparable to two successive SN2 attack. Look at this. If this attack you consider, so this is the first SN2 attack, and this one is the second SN2 attack, which is occurring in this center. So same center having two successive SN2 attack, and that is why what I can say that over here first SN2 attack will give you the inversion, and the second SN2 attack will give you the retention. So over here you are getting the 100% retention product. Okay, and one more important point is that NGP increases the rate of the reaction. Suppose I am taking substrate number 1 where no NGP is present, only the substitution nucleophilic reaction is occurring, it could be SN1 or SN2, and in substrate number 2 there is NGP, and over here another substitution nucleophilic reaction is occurring. So we will see that in case of the substrate 2 or the second substrate, the rate of the reaction will be higher. Okay. As we can see that in NGP ring formation occurs. Depending on the size and the stability of the ring size, NGP rate depends upon. Okay, depending on the ring size and the stability. Now how to determine it? The experimental order of the ring size is like this one. 5-membered ring formation is the most stable condition, then the 3-membered ring formation, then 6-membered, and then 4-membered ring formation. So this is the experimental order of the stability of the rings, and that is why if any NGP forms 5-membered ring, so the rate will be automatically higher. So this is reflected in this experimental relative rates. Now over here this OH, okay, OH has a lone pair, and that is nothing but your internal nucleophile. It will attack over here, chlorine will be removed, first SN2 attack, then OSU minus will attack at the center to produce this kind of product. So two successive SN2 is occurring, that means over here the NGP is operating. Okay, so it is the NGP of this internal nucleophile. So in every case the internal nucleophile is present, but the matter is that what will be the size of the ring. So in the first case you can see that over here there is a 3-membered ring formation. Now if this lone pair attack in this center, it will produce a 4-membered ring formation. In this case, if this lone pair attack at this center, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 5-membered ring formation. And here 6-membered ring formation. Okay. So these are the different ring size, 3, 4, 5 and 6. Now experimental order is that 5-membered ring is the most stable. That is reflected in the relative rate. Over here the relative rate is around 57,000. Highest rate. Now second one is the 3-membered ring formation. Look at this, 2000 is the relative rate. Third one is the 6-membered ring formation. The rate decreases. And the 4-membered ring formation is not that much stable for NGP. So this will be the order of the relative rate. Clear? Okay. Now we will discuss the NGP of these two molecules. Now in this case what I can see that this is nothing but acid. Okay. It is acid, and this OH has a lone pair which will abstract this H plus to produce this kind of assembly. OH2 plus, over here methyl and bromine. Okay. Okay. Now this bromine has lone pair. It can be donated, so it can act as an internal nucleophile, thereby the formation of this kind of 3-membered ring. Methyl is there. Okay. Now for this reagent HBr, it has an anionic counterpart Br minus. Now that Br minus will attack. Now Br minus can attack in both the position, either in this side or in this side. Okay. So if attack in this side is considered as a attack A, so that will basically clip the bond in this way. So that is why we are getting Br in this position. So there will be methyl and hydrogen. Methyl and hydrogen. This will be product from A, pathway A. And if the nucleophile attack in this position, that means the pathway B, so that will be pathway B, that will be forming this product. A nucleophile is over here. Then now the nucleophile basically Br minus. Okay. Well, these two are not the same product. These are nothing but your enantiomers. Okay, we will discuss this example in our stereochemistry lecture series. There you will find that how to determine which one is enantiomer or diastereomer. But one very important aspect is that often question asked from this concept that if you look at this intermediate, okay, this intermediate, so just I am erasing all of these arrows, so that will be much helpful for you to understand this one. Now in this case, if you consider this intermediate, so you will find that there is a plane of symmetry. Okay, plane of symmetry. Whenever the plane of symmetry is present in this kind of intermediate, so now the nucleophile will attack either this side or this side, thereby producing the enantiomeric plus minus DL pair. Okay, enantiomeric plus minus DL pair. So that will basically lead to the formation of the racemic product. The racemic product is forming. Okay. Now the similar kind of reaction mechanism will be observed in this second substrate, but the product will be different. Why? Because over here this lone pair will abstract one hydrogen, so thereby producing OH plus, and this bromine will perform the NGP to produce a cyclic bromonium ion, which is a structure something like this. Okay. Now here no plane of symmetry is present. no POS is present. Now the counterpart, anionic counterpart of this HBr, that can attack over here or over here. So in both the cases, the same meso compound will be formed. There will be a compound which is a meso compound. In this case, we will get either this one or this one. Okay, so these two are same product, and these two are meso compound. So in this case, no plane of symmetry is present in this intermediate, so meso compound is the product. And over here, due to the presence of the plane of symmetry in the intermediate, you will find the racemic mixture, racemic product, equal amount of plus minus enantiomers. Okay. Now, what are the enantiomers and what are the meso compounds and how to determine that easily? We will discuss it in the stereochemistry part. Okay, stereochemistry lecture series in our crash course. We will upload it after completing some of the important topics, and there we will again explain these two examples, and then that will be much clear for you. And since it is a crash course, we have to cover the most important topics as quick as possible, because after that we will move on to the MCQ solving. Okay, so that is why up to this information you will write down in your note and give some space. You can leave 2 or 3 pages over there when I will teach the stereochemistry and I will explain the enantiomers or meso compounds. There you will again find this example, and then you must add some extra notes about enantiomer and meso compounds and how to determine that. How to determine these two are enantiomers and these two are basically the same meso compound. We'll discuss it in that lecture. Okay. So that's all for today. Thank you. Happy learning.